Hey guys, it's Stamp with Lisa Marie. I'm just gonna give you guys a second. I'm gonna make sure I've got it all set up on Facebook the right way. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Saturday. It's Sunday already. Oh my goodness. I think it is working. I'll turn my volume down. It was impromptu. I saw a cool technique on the demonstrator planning place, and the lovely lady who did it, I don't even know how to say her name. It was like Elodie. She's French, I believe. And so I decided, Katie Brown showed it to me, and I decided to try to figure out how to do it because we couldn't understand everything she was saying because, you know, she spoke French and I didn't take French. Took Spanish and I don't know that either. So yep, I think we need, let me know if that's too bright, Valerie. I think I just saw you pop on. I can turn that light off if it's too bright. But anyway, we're going to use Seaside Notions, which is totally cute. I love the seahorse. He's my favorite. I don't know what it is about him. Maybe it's just because we live by the beach. So this is the card that I just did a few minutes ago that I'm going to show you guys how I did it. Isn't that cool? And then, of course, you know, we're doing the no naked inner, so I even did the inside, and you can see the inside has a lot of shimmer in it. I don't remember which side my camera's on. There it is. And I'll show you how I did that. I am using the shimmer paper mostly because I ran out of watercolor paper. I can't find any. I'm sure after this video I'll find plenty. I will show you what I did on watercolor paper, so it's just a little bit, so you get a little bit different texture on watercolor paper, which I had some scraps that I played with earlier. This one was that my StazOn wasn't inked up. I had to re-ink it, so it was really, really light there, and it's much better when it's bold. And then this one I haven't finished it because he has a little smudge from my finger, but you get the idea, right? So there we go. We're gonna move those guys out of the way. I need to grab one thing because I totally left it on my desk. I just need to get some saran wrap of all things, or I think cling wrap, some people know it as. So we're gonna use some of this. I'm going to pull some of this off now so that I don't forget about it again. And I'm just gonna pull off, you know, a piece like that because we're just gonna be using it on the size of cardstock that we have, so we don't need a super big piece. So I'm just going to set him aside now that I've got him all tangled. I'll cling him to my keyboard over here. Move that out of the way, and I'm going to grab some paper. I'm using Blueberry Bushel and Grapefruit Grove, and they shimmer white. And I have my fan on, so all my stuff keeps blowing away. Oops. So we have one for the outside, and then one for the seahorse, and then one for the inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grab those pieces that we have to color and get them out first. And let's see what I wanna do first. Okay, so the girl that I saw do it, what she did is she did the background first, the background technique, and then she stamped afterwards. I kind of like stamping first because then I know where I wanna put my colors. And I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about here. We'll start with the seahorse. Let me grab my block. Go. You have to use StazOn because we're watercoloring. You don't want all your colors to go all crazy. Well, hi Penny, how are you? Hi Renee. There we go. Oops, this one has my measurements on it. So my shimmer piece that's on top here is going to be 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and someone's going to ask me those. I better write them down on my scrap paper. So we're going to do 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 for the shimmer. If I write it, then when you guys are asking me later, I'll know what it is. So we're going to flip it over because we're not going to do it on that side. And we're just going to stamp it like that. Oh, I don't like how light he is. Did I do a second one? I didn't. That's all right. We're going to go with it. That's okay. So then I take my saran wrap or cling wrap, and I'm going to lay it right on top. I'm going to get rid of the cat hair that's in there. That's not attractive. There we go. So I'm going to lay my wrap here, and then I'm going to grab my markers. These are my regular Stampin' Write markers. They're not my blends. And we are going to add some blue. And I'm doing this over here, oops, wrong side, so that I know where I want my blue. I know I want my blue around my seahorse. I don't really want it over my seahorse. The blue I found was a little bit harder in the bleaching process that we're going to do. And so it was a little bit harder to get it to completely wash out. So I'm just scribbling. That's all I'm doing. I'm gonna add some, that was Grapefruit Grove, and now this is a little bit of Pineapple Punch. So I did that. Now I'm going to take this guy and I'm just going to set it aside again. And I'm going to lay my ink pad on the very tip of it so it doesn't blow away. Then I'm going to take a blender pen. I'm going to grab this one. And I'm going to drop some water on here. The water is what's going to help that ink disperse. Now, the sweet lady that I watched do this, she was so perfect, and you know, I'm sure I'm making all my OCD people a little crazy because I'm just random. Just do it. So I did that. Now, something else I did a little while ago is then I took my my Wink Estella, and I gave it a little squeeze so that the droplets fall out, and I went right over those little water spots that I just did, and it's going to add a little extra shimmer to what we're doing. I'm skipping the ones over my seahorse because we're going to go ahead and we're going to end up bleaching that out anyway. So there, we've got that sitting just like that. And then I'm going to come back to my scribble piece and I'm just going to lay it on here. There we go. And I like just pulling it and letting that color go, and then you can grab it with your finger. So I'm going to even move him down just a little bit. There we go. And just kind of get that color to go. Smush it around. Oh, that's going to be pretty. Now when you pull this off, you don't want to lift it straight up because the colors will, I think they get all muddy. So we're going to peel it back like so. Ta-da! Now this is still good. I can still use this. So I'm going to set him aside for a second, and I'm just going to grab a baby wipe because I forgot to grab a paper towel for this, and just wipe it right off. The ink you're seeing is actually on my workstation there. So now he's still clean. I can use him for the other ones I'm going to do in a minute. So there, he's all done. We're going to dry him with our heat tool. Hey Sue, hey Lois. Oh good, I'm glad it's not too bright. Thank you so much, Valerie. So we're just going to heat him up, and we're just using, I actually am using the heat setting tool. I know our heat gun has two settings, a dry and the one for melting your embossing powder, but I'm using it all the way on high because I live in Florida where everything stays wet all the time. So we're just going to dry that up really good. You can even flip it over. There we go. All right. Ta-da! Now we're just going to set him aside for now, and we're going to go ahead and do our other pieces because I still want to do my inside and my my background here. So I'm going to, what shall I do? How should I do? I'm going to do my colors on here. I'm going to do them at the same time and just see how that goes. I really should have turned off the fan. I wasn't thinking. I'm going to hold him down there. So we're going to grab some blue, the blueberry bushel. And if you'll notice, like on this background piece, that's what we're doing right here. I just went around with my blueberry bushel marker on the cling wrap. I need to grab a refill because I did another thing that was kind of cool. Oh. I'm still here. Sorry. I was playing with it and I don't have all the markers because mine are like scattered everywhere, and I didn't want to get into Chuck's stash, so I decided just to use a little bit of re-inker for some of it. So I'm just going to take on my outside piece and I'm just going to scribble my blueberry bushel, and you want to get, you know, a good amount in there. You don't want to be stingy with it. And I even dotted a little bit down here, and this is for my inside, and I'm just going around the edge again because I didn't want to do it too heavy. There's nothing pretty about this, no precision. I'm sure my friend Katie has figured out a way to do it like really precise. That's not me, not happening. Then I have a little bit of Coastal Cabana. That's that little bit of greenish blue that's down there at the bottom. I just grabbed my little refill guy and I just dropped a little bit in there. Holy cow, the fan and I are gonna fight. I wish Chuck was watching because he would know to come in here and shut the fan off for me. I don't think I can reach the thing. Let me see. Oh well, that's all right. It'll be fine, right? All right, so we got my blue on there. I'm gonna move him out of the way, watch him fly off my desk. And I'm going to add some water just on my edges again. See, not a lot of precision to this. I'm just dropping water on there. You can spread it out. You can leave it in little bubbles. There we go. And if you want to add some shimmer to it, you can drop in some, actually probably need a couple more right there. You can drop in some of this Wink of Stella. There we go. Just a little here and there. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And you have to make the sound. Sound effects help. So then we're gonna take this guy. Hang on, I've got my saran wrap, it was all mangled here. All kinds of mangled. All right. So we're gonna go like that. See how it just kind of starts spreading? And I highly recommend turning off your fan when you do it. Oh, that one didn't get enough water. If you don't get enough water, just go ahead and add some. It'll be okay. This is like, you know, it's the sea. It's okay if it's not perfect. You know, and just squish it around. This, I'm gonna let him sit. And I'm gonna take this and see how I'm scrunching it up. I'm gonna finish off over here where it missed spots. Remember, the middle doesn't matter because I'm going to have my layer there. So it's looking pretty rough right now, but it's really, I promise it's gonna be pretty in a second. I'll get rid of that mess before I get it everywhere. Somewhere there's a lid. Here we go. And look, maybe gloves would be good, right? So I'm just gonna heat these up again, just like I did the other one. And this is on shimmer paper, but adding that Wink Estella really makes it extra shimmery. I'm just gonna blot some of those puddles off of there. There we go. I don't know if I said hi to you, Renee. I'm sorry. Hello. What's everybody doing today? We have been cleaning my closet because I don't remember if I posted it here or not. My closet on one side, we've been in this house for I think 19 years. We've never changed the shelving. It's the original what the contractor put in, and we have a lot of stuff in there. Okay, I have a lot of stuff in there. I'm kind of a hoarder. So at 3:30 in the morning, early Saturday morning, we heard a crash, and it was the entire shelf. The clips had like dry rotted. They had just, you know, dried out, and then they also, like, the bars that they were on, because they were on like really cheap ones, they like just broke. And so clothes everywhere, suitcases, you name it, it all fell. So we were doing that yesterday, and then Chuck was looking at the mess that it had left. You know, we went and checked the other side, and he's like, oh, he says those are like cracked and gonna break too. So we had to change them out also. So let's grab some sand. I love this set, it has such good stuff in it. Grab some sand and a little block, and I need another block. Here we go. And we're going to use StazOn again. I'm going to ink that up really, really good. This one's for my inside. This is for my outside. I'm going to get some of this coral in there. It's pretty. It's very pretty. That's for my outside. I'm going to go ahead and do one for my inside too. And then because it stays on, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe that off a little bit and push him out of the way. I'm going to add some sand. You don't have to, like I keep saying, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just, you know, it's the bottom of the ocean. It's all different all over the place. And I want a sand dollar because I think that is another adorable stamp. So we're going to ink him up really good. I think we're gonna try, I should have left no sand there, so maybe we'll bring him up. We'll bring him right there. Let's see how that goes. Yeah. Because remember, he's gonna be layered, so it'll be peeking out. Cute. All right, now to the bleach. I know you guys are all been waiting, right? I'm gonna take one of my clear blocks. I'm gonna clean up some of my mess for you. We'll start with this guy. And I tried this a couple different ways. I didn't want liquid bleach laying on my desk because God knows I would end up wearing it. So I went and got one of these Clorox bleach pens. It says Zero Splash, that's for me. And I'm just gonna squirt some right here and make on my palette. And do it. This is just one of my, is a Clear Block D. And one way that I did it is I grabbed an old blender pen. This is not it. Where is he? Here he is. Okay, and I wrote bleach because like one end has got smushed up in there. Gosh, my fingers. And then I tried that, and it works okay for like big areas, but after a while the tip got kind of yucky. So I went back to, not this one, to, you know, your aqua painters come in two sizes. They come in a 2-pack, and you got a thin one and a little bit wider one. And I ended up using this one. It even has water in it, and I'm okay with that. It didn't hurt anything. And we're just going to paint with the bleach. And it's, you know, it's kind of like magic. You'll watch it for a second and you'll start to see it pop. And what it's doing is it's bleaching all that color out of there. So there we go. So now you guys get to watch me paint with bleach. You can even see up here where like I missed little spots, so you can see the grapefruit grove peeking through. I think a really thin paintbrush would be great too, because for like these really skinny spots. I think it looks kind of cool when some of it's got a little bit of color, or when the bleach even peeks off the edges and it goes, you know, outside of the actual shape. I'm like good with that. I think it looks kind of cool. So we're going to grab my little paper towel. I'm just going to wipe it off. There we go. And then I just squeeze off my blender pen and got rid of some of that. But my aqua painter. I keep calling it a blender pen, sorry. So isn't that cool? So I'm gonna let him dry, and then we'll go ahead and do this one too. And get rid of some of this so that it all goes together. And like I told you earlier when we started, the blue does not seem to bleach as easily. It'll do it. You just have to keep wiping and doing it. But then if you wipe too long, you know, then you get it too wet, so you gotta kind of let it dry a little. So go in here. The lighter the blue, a little bit easier it was. There we go. And my aqua painter is going to be nice and clean with all this bleach on there, right? Yeah, he's not coming off as nice as I'd like him to. There we go. I think I'm going to go back to my blender pen because I could scrub a little bit with that. And that seemed, there we go. Oops, now the lid's on the floor. You know, most of the time Chuck's watching when I'm doing a video, and he would have been in here going, let me fix that fan for you. All right, there's that one. We're gonna set him aside to dry and go ahead and continue on with, this is just an old blender pen that obviously I'm not gonna use as a blender pen anymore. He's just all beat up, the tip isn't great. Wipe it away. Let's try this guy too. And it just brightens it and just makes it pop like you saw my seahorse. Can't wait to see what some of you guys will do with this idea. I think it's really kind of cool. And when my friend Katie showed it to me yesterday, I didn't ever like bleaching years ago when I first started stamping, because, you know, all we had was liquid bleach and I would have made a mess. I made lots of messes actually, so I didn't want to go there, but then I remembered these bleach pens. I'm like, that will work really good. And so, see, I'm gonna wipe it away because it's starting to pull it off there. It's bleaching it out. I might have rubbed a little too hard there. I'm just gonna let it sit for a second. And that seems to work too, just kind of letting it sit. There we go. But there's something about that darn blue. It doesn't like to go. There we go. All right. And we'll wipe that off. So it's not perfectly white, but I do still like it. Maybe I'll let it sit while we're finishing up. Clean him off. So I'm just squeezing the water through it and getting all that bleach off of there. But see how this one came out nice? It didn't have as much blue as what this guy did. But that came out really pretty. All right, we'll wipe it off so I don't end up sticking my arm in it and putting it on my clothes. All right, we'll close that guy up and get rid of some of this mess. Alyssa moved my trash can and it's not where it normally is. So I almost dropped it on a project. I'm gonna clean my hands off with a baby wipe because, as you can see, I am kind of a mess today. I'm gonna get rid of my bleach. Grab some cardstock I've got cut. So, oh, let me clean this guy off too so we don't lay anything in it. There we go. Hold that aside. So now I've got my layers, and I think I even wrote them on here. So my grapefruit is 3 7/8 by 2 7/8. And then my blueberry is 3 by 4. So we're gonna go ahead and put those together with some adhesive. And just stick this guy right on here. And then we're gonna grab this one. Because you watercolored with it, you wanna try to get right up close to the edge so that it stays down, because you know it gets a little warped from the water and the heat. and it was really sad. I know Fast Fuse has been retired for a while, but it was like my favorite adhesive, and I'm out. I ran out. I'm just turning it upside down to rub it to try to avoid getting any of the ink from my fingers onto it. And then we're going to take this one. And this one is just a 4 by 5 1/4. Again, it's shimmer white. It doesn't, this gets, you're using too much water to do it on Whisper White, and I didn't have good luck with the thick Whisper White either. It just kind of crumbled too much because I was using so much, you know, with the bleach and the ink. There we go. Oh, see, he got lighter, but I made him pill. That's all right. He looks like he's been underwater for a long time. There we go. We're gonna do, and then this is the inside. I don't know why I left it naked in the middle, but I did. We're gonna stamp some words there, maybe. There we go. All right. Then, so I've got those pieces there. I'm gonna grab, I took a little bit of twine. It's just our baker's twine. Ooh, I probably didn't bring scissors, did I? Let's see, everything but what I need. That's okay. Who sits here at their craft table with no scissors? Not one pair. That's crazy. Here they are. They were in my cards in the car bucket. I found some. So then I'm gonna flip this guy over, and all I did was take this twine and I'm just gonna lay it across like this, because I just wanted a little bit of that natural element coming in with it being a C thing, and I didn't want to like make it all girly and add ribbons and bows and things like that. So I'm gonna add these guys, and then for this one I'm just gonna pinch it and slide it up under there and stick some more dimensionals on here. Peel this one off like that, because I can trim those once I flip it over. All right, so then we're gonna stick him on there. And then I can move this around and get rid of some of that where it's too long. Oops, okay. Then I have, let's see, I'm gonna take, okay, so I had like a little scrap. It's 1/4 of an inch wide. And to put the Here's to You on there, you needed like just under 2 inches. I've already did the coloring on it because I knew that if I tried to do it while you were watching, I would totally mess it up. The stamping, I mean. I knew I would mess it up. I didn't want you watching while I did that. And then I think I've got this little piece here. Maybe we'll cut this guy off and use it. Let's see. See if I can cut straight and make that work. So it's just a piece of scrap that I had done some of the technique on earlier with the watercoloring and the saran wrap. So there we go. Just so that it has a little bit underneath of it. I'm gonna stick some glue there. I'm just running my snail right across it. There we go. And now I can trim it because I think he's a little bit too big. There we go. So I'm just trimming it straight across with my scissors, and I'm gonna clean this guy up on that end. I'm gonna clean him up one more time. And you know, there's no right or wrong way, you guys. This is like a really easy card to do. It's a fun technique. I think it looks really pretty. I think it would be pretty with some of the bigger florals that we have and butterflies. And you know, I showed you it looked really cute with those birds. Another thing that you might want to do if you're doing it on watercolor paper, I would highly recommend using your Stamparatus to do your stamping, because then you can go back over if the StazOn isn't dark enough. So we're just going to stick this guy down here. Actually, we're going to go this way because there's no blue over here. So move him over. So ta-da! Go and clean up some of them on this. There you go. That is what I did today with my, what did I use? A Clorox bleach pen. And you could use liquid bleach. I guess there's another product out there that they use a lot that works really well. It was like DAKIN. I don't know if we did, I know you can get it on Amazon, but it was like $17. This I think was $5 5-ish, maybe 6. But anyway, so that's what I did today, and I hope you guys enjoyed that and you learned a little something new. This isn't something that I'll probably do in class because I have a lot of ladies with asthma, and I don't want anybody having an asthma attack from sniffing bleach. And I don't want anybody to ruin their clothes. This is like an at-home project where it's a little more controlled, right? So there you go. That's it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.